Good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming to our Strongsville Summer Band program. Middle of July, it's an awesome moment to have all our kids back together and just have some fun and make some music together. We really hope that you enjoy your concert. Thank you so much for making time for us in the middle of the day, in the middle of July. We're really excited to support our young musicians and the amazing achievements that they've accomplished in a very short 2 weeks. So we hope you enjoy the first piece. It's called Creatures in the Attic. All right. You may notice throughout our concert that you're going to see a lot of shuffling in the back. We were blessed to have an extra large number of percussionists join us for this concert. So we basically alternated songs so that no one person is sitting around for too long. So you'll see them switching back and forth. And they also have 2 different percussion feature pieces you'll see in the program that'll come up in a little bit. So while we were working with one group, the other group was preparing that piece. So try to use our time wisely and keep everybody engaged and happy. This next song is called Gift of Hope. It's based on the Shaker tune Simple Gifts, so you may recognize it. We hope you enjoy. All right, we're going to have a quick transition here while we get our first percussion ensemble started. Just to give you a little bit of background, this ensemble is made up of students who are entering grades 6 through 8. And I'm sure you've noticed some larger kids that you're thinking they can't be 6th graders. You're right, they're not. We have some excellent SMS alumni band members who have offered to come back, and they worked with us, they worked with the students, they ran sectionals, they just led by example, they were fantastic. So if you are one of those people, would you stand up so we can acknowledge you, please? Don't be shy, it's okay. Thank you so much. This program does not work without all that help, so they're fantastic. And they give up some of their summer too, so bless them. All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Tom Robley, a band director at Walsh University and husband of Mrs. Robley, of course. A little bit about the African drumming piece that you're about to hear. We have so many percussionists this year in the summer band camp. We divided into 2 groups, and when they weren't rehearsing with the band, they were working with me, and we talked about some traditional African music. Specifically, this music comes from Ghana, and we're using some of the elements that would be used in those traditional contexts. So as we play this piece, you'll hear some call and response kinds of things. They listen to patterns and then respond based on what they're hearing. There are some echo patterns where they're just echoing the same thing that they hear back. And there's also an element of solo sections near the end. So we'll pass down down the line an opportunity for each student to improvise a little bit on their own. So this piece is built off of a traditional piece called Pon Logo, and like I say, it's got those elements in there. We hope you enjoy this piece built with these traditional African instruments.
everybody. My name is Mrs. Robley, and it's been such a fun 2 weeks. We are so excited to be here. The kids have worked very hard. For many of them, we have 6th graders, which they've only been playing in band for 1 year, and this is a lot of tricky music for them. So first, I'd like the 6th graders. Anybody who's in 6th grade this next school year, will you please stand so we can recognize you? How about our 7th graders? Anybody who's going to be in band 7th grade next year, go ahead and stand up. And our 8th graders, this will be their last year playing with us as a summer band member, unless they come back and help us as an alumni, which we highly recommend. 8th graders, go ahead and stand up. This mix of students, they help each other. There's a lot of leadership, a lot of friendship, so we're really excited. Our next piece we're going to play is themes from Harry Potter, and there are actually 2 movements. So once we play the first movement, there'll be a brief pause, and then you will hear the second movement. We have Hedwig's theme and Harry's Wonder Scroll. Our next piece is called Shipwrecked. It is definitely the most challenging piece we've had these past 2 weeks. It's a higher level of difficulty for all of the instruments, but it is an amazing piece. You're going to get to hear lots of special effects in this piece.
this time we're going to have a second traditional drumming group. And like the first, this is built off of a traditional piece. This piece is called Pacha. It's a piece that comes from the southern portion of Ghana, and you'll see many of the same kinds of elements, the call and response, the echo patterns. There's more layering that happens in this piece as compared to the first piece, maybe a little bit less echoing as compared to the first piece. But we hope you enjoy this piece called Pacha, or built off of the piece called Pacha, again, traditional drumming from Ghana.
Yes? Okay. So we wanted to make sure we took an extra moment and said thank you to Mr. Robley, who did both of those amazing performances. Thank you so much. He not only spent his time doing that with the kids, but wrote them. So, yay him. We're so lucky to live in Strongsville and have such an amazing community that supports our music education. I would also like to take this moment to recognize Mr. King and Mr. Chidsey, who are also band directors in the district. I know they're in attendance, and we appreciate your support and help in educating all these amazing young musicians. And I would be remiss if I neglected to thank Mr. Scott Benson, who came over and is doing our live streaming today. So if you are a lucky person at home watching this concert online, thank you so much for supporting from afar. And also thank you to those who were able to come in attendance, but it's not possible without Mr. Benson. So thank you, Scott. All right, so we're gonna kick it up a little, and we're gonna do some Seven Nation Army. Hope you enjoy. Oh, I would be wrong if I also didn't mention we have an extra bass guitarist on this piece. Thank you to Josh Hawk.
I definitely need to thank the custodians this week. They have helped us out so much and taken such good care of us and allows us to use these facilities and helping us. So we definitely want to give a shout out to the custodians. And of course, thank you to our administration and Board of Education who support our music program and allow us to do awesome weeks like this and perform concerts. So thank you to our administration. Our next piece is called Junkanoo, and it's very percussive and very exciting, so I hope you like it.
All right, before we do our last piece, we had just a couple more thank yous to give. Mrs. Robley and I may be the ones waving the stick up here, but it takes a village, right? So we also want to make sure we acknowledge Royalty Music Center, who sponsored our t-shirts, and you see on the back they advertise, good for them, they're fantastic, they support our music program. And also, Strongsville Instrumental Music Boosters, who provided some snacks and treats and lunch today for the kids. And we could definitely not run this program without the amazing support from them. If you're not already a member, please consider doing so. You will hear more about them in the future. They are amazing. It's basically PTO for music people. So they help us out, sell concessions at football games, help chaperone concerts and away games and marching band events. They're fantastic. So we thank them very much. Before we play our last piece, I want to make sure that I say bravo to all of our students, because we considered during a normal school year you might play 7 pieces, and we asked them to learn them and perform them in 8 rehearsals. So this does not happen without a lot of dedication, patience, and self-forgiveness, and a lot of perseverance. So we're super proud of them. It's hard. They come that first day and we give them this giant pile of music and they look at us like we're nuts. But somehow every single year that I've done this, we pull it off. They sound amazing. I couldn't be more proud of them. So one more hand for them. so this last piece, Brain Stew, if you don't recognize the title, which I have to be honest, I didn't. It's by Green Day. You'll recognize it when you hear it. But I also want to make sure I acknowledge Brennan, who offered to play guitar for us. So he's on guitar, and you'll hear that in there. We hope you enjoy Brain Stew. Thanks again to Mr. and Mrs. Robley, who helped me out. They're way in the back now, but thank you so much. We hope that your student enjoyed this. It helps kind of brush off the dust from their instruments for the summer, and hopefully they'll be fresh and excited about music making when they come back in a sad few weeks. I know, it's very sad. It seems so early, doesn't it? All right, so thank you again so much. The kids will pack up, and we'll have a great rest of our short summer. Thank you so much.